Kate Morgan pushed her grocery cart through the crowded supermarket, mentally checking off items from her list. 13 years of single motherhood had made her efficient at these weekly routines. Her phone buzzed with a text from her daughter Lily, asking if she could buy those chocolate cookies they both loved. Kate smiled and headed to the snack aisle. As she rounded the corner, she nearly collided with another cart. "Sorry," she mumbled, looking up to see a tall man with familiar green eyes. Her heart seemed to skip several beats. "Kate." His voice hadn't changed much in 13 years. "Ryan." She managed to say his name without her voice cracking. Ryan Wilson, her college sweetheart, Lily's father, and the man who had walked out of her life before she could tell him she was pregnant. People continued shopping around them, oblivious to the earthquake happening in Kate's world. She gripped her cart tighter, suddenly aware of her faded jeans and messy ponytail. "I moved back to town last month," he said, filling the awkward silence. "I'm working at the hospital now. Finished my residency in Chicago." So he had become a doctor after all. Kate nodded, unsure what to say. The last time they'd spoken, they were 22 and he had accepted a scholarship to medical school across the country. Their relationship hadn't survived the prospect of long distance. She had discovered her pregnancy 2 weeks after he left. "How have you been?" he asked, his eyes searching her face. "Good. Busy." Kate shifted uncomfortably. "I should probably finish my shopping." "Right, of course." He stepped aside, then hesitated. "It's really good to see you, Kate." She nodded and pushed her cart forward, her hands trembling slightly. Once she turned the corner, she leaned against the shelf, taking deep breaths. She had imagined running into Ryan someday, but not like this. Not when she was unprepared, not when Lily was waiting at home. Lily. The thought of her daughter sent a fresh wave of panic through Kate. What was she supposed to do now? For 13 years, she had raised her daughter alone, telling her that her father wasn't in the picture because he had moved away to follow his dreams. She had never told Ryan about Lily, initially out of hurt and pride, later because it seemed too late to disrupt their lives. Kate finished her shopping in a daze and loaded the groceries into her car. As she sat behind the wheel, she noticed a piece of paper tucked under her windshield wiper. Her stomach dropped as she read the hastily scrawled note. "Kate, I can't stop thinking about seeing you. Could we talk? Here's my number. Ryan." She crumpled the paper, then smoothed it out again, staring at the familiar handwriting. Part of her wanted to throw it away and pretend the encounter never happened. But another part, the part that saw Lily asking questions about her father with increasing frequency, knew this might be something she couldn't ignore. At home, Kate found Lily sprawled on the couch with her homework. At 12, she was starting to look more like Ryan every day. Same green eyes, same determined chin, same dimple when she smiled. "Did you get the cookies?" Lily asked without looking up. "Yes," Kate answered, setting the groceries on the kitchen counter. She busied herself putting things away, her mind racing. Should she tell Lily about running into Ryan? What would that do to her daughter's world? What would it do to their carefully constructed life? That night, after Lily went to bed, Kate sat at the kitchen table with Ryan's number in front of her. She had built a good life for them, a modest but comfortable home, a stable job at the local library, a small but supportive circle of friends. She had worked hard to give Lily everything she needed, to be both mother and father. The thought of disrupting that made her chest tighten. But she also remembered the nights Lily had cried, asking why her father didn't want to know her. The carefully constructed answers Kate had given felt hollow now that Ryan was back in town. What if he stayed? What if they ran into him again? Mountain Ridge wasn't big enough to avoid someone forever. Kate picked up her phone and typed out a text before she could change her mind. "This is Kate. We should talk." She hit send and immediately felt sick to her stomach. She had spent 13 years building walls around their little family. Now she had just created a doorway. Her phone buzzed almost immediately. "Thank you. Coffee tomorrow? The place on Main Street at 10. Kate stared at his response, realizing that whatever she decided next would change everything. She typed, "Okay," and set down her phone, knowing that tomorrow would be the first day of whatever came next for her, for Lily, and for the man who had no idea he had a daughter. Kate arrived at the coffee shop 15 minutes early, choosing a table in the corner that offered some privacy. She ordered a black coffee and watched the door, her stomach in knots. Part of her still wanted to leave before Ryan arrived, to retreat to the safety of what she knew. But she stayed, turning her cup in circles on the table. Ryan walked in at exactly 10 o'clock. He scanned the room, his expression brightening when he spotted her. He looked different in daylight, more mature than the boy she had known, with subtle creases around his eyes and threads of silver at his temples. The white coat had been replaced by a simple blue button-down and jeans. "Thanks for meeting me," he said, sliding into the chair across from her. He ordered a coffee and turned his attention back to Kate. "I still can't believe I ran into you yesterday." "Mountain Ridge is a small town," Kate replied, trying to keep her voice steady. "I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. I've only been back a few weeks." Ryan studied her face. "You look good, Kate. Really good." Kate didn't know how to respond to that. She hadn't come here for small talk or compliments. She'd come to make an impossible decision, whether to tell Ryan about Lily or keep the secret she'd maintained for 13 years. "How long are you staying?" she asked instead. "I signed a 3-year contract with the hospital." He looked down at his coffee. "After my mom got sick last year, I wanted to be closer to home." Kate nodded. She remembered Ryan's mother, a kind woman who had always made Kate feel welcome in their home. "I'm sorry to hear she's sick." "Cancer. She's responding well to treatment, but..." He trailed off, then changed the subject. "What about you? What have you been doing all these years?" The moment had arrived. Kate took a deep breath. "Ryan, there's something I need to tell you." He must have heard the gravity in her voice because his expression shifted from casual to concerned. "What is it?" "After you left for medical school." Kate paused, gathering her courage. "I found out I was pregnant." Ryan's face went blank, then a series of emotions flashed across it. Confusion, shock, disbelief. "What?" he whispered. "I have a daughter. Her name is Lily. She's 12. The color drained from Ryan's face. 12, he repeated. "And she's..." "Yes," Kate confirmed. "She's yours." Ryan set down his coffee cup with a shaky hand. "Why didn't you tell me?" The question hung between them, heavy with 13 years of unspoken words. Kate had rehearsed this conversation countless times in her head, but facing him now, all her prepared explanations felt inadequate. "At first, I was hurt and angry," she admitted. "You had made it clear that medical school was your priority, not me. Not us. By the time I processed everything, you were settled in your new life. I didn't want to disrupt that." "Disrupt it?" Ryan's voice rose slightly. "Kate, you kept my child from me for 13 years. That wasn't your decision to make." Kate felt defensive heat rise in her cheeks. "You left, Ryan. You said a clean break would be better for both of us. What was I supposed to do? Call me? Email me? Something?" he said, running a hand through his hair. "My God, I have a daughter I've never met." Several people glanced their way, and Kate lowered her voice. "I'm telling you now because you're back, and this town is too small to keep pretending. But you need to understand, Lily doesn't know about you. Not really. She knows her father moved away before she was born to become a doctor. That's all." Ryan leaned forward. "Does she ask about me?" Kate nodded, remembering all the questions over the years. "She does. More lately." "I want to meet her," Ryan said immediately. "It's not that simple," Kate replied. "She's 12. She's sensitive and smart, and has her whole idea of family built around just me and her. I can't just bring you into her life like it's nothing." "I'm not asking to disrupt your lives," Ryan said, his initial anger giving way to something more measured. "But I deserve to know my daughter, and she deserves to know me." Kate knew he was right, but fear still gripped her. "What if you leave again? What if you decide being a father doesn't fit into your plans?" "I can't let her get hurt." Ryan was quiet for a moment. "I know I have no right to ask for your trust, but I'm not the same person who left 13 years ago. I want to do this right, whatever that means." Kate studied him, trying to see beyond her memories of the boy who had broken her heart to the man sitting across from her now. "I need time," she finally said. "I need to figure out how to tell her." "How much time?" "I don't know," Kate admitted. "This isn't a situation with a rule book." Ryan nodded slowly. "Can I at least see a picture of her?" Kate hesitated, then pulled out her phone. She scrolled to a recent photo of Lily at her school science fair, proudly standing next to her project on marine ecosystems. Her green eyes, Ryan's eyes, sparkled with pride. She handed the phone to Ryan, watching as he stared at the image of his daughter. His expression softened, and something that looked like love and loss simultaneously crossed his face. "She's beautiful," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. "She looks like you. She has your eyes," Kate said quietly. And your stubbornness. Ryan handed the phone back, their fingers briefly touching. I want to do right by her, Kate. By both of you. Just tell me how. Kate wished she had an answer. For 13 years, she had handled everything on her own. Every fever, every school project, every nightmare and triumph. The thought of sharing that responsibility, that connection with Lily, felt both terrifying and strangely relieving. I'll talk to her, Kate said finally. But I need to do it in my own way, in my own time. Ryan nodded. I understand. And Kate, thank you for telling me now. I know you didn't have to. As they left the coffee shop, Kate felt as though she was standing on the edge of a cliff. Behind her was the safe, predictable life she had built. Ahead was something unknown, something that could either heal old wounds or create new ones. But for the first time in 13 years, she allowed herself to consider that maybe, just maybe, there was a way forward that included Ryan in their lives. Kate spent the next week searching for the right moment to talk to Lily. She watched her daughter more carefully than usual. The way she laughed with her friends on the phone, how she concentrated on her homework, her little habits that had become so familiar over the years. Each observation felt weighted now, viewed through the lens of what was to come. On Friday afternoon, Kate picked Lily up from school and suggested they get ice cream at their favorite place by the lake. Lily agreed enthusiastically, chattering about her day as they drove. Kate half listened, rehearsing different versions of what she needed to say. They sat on a bench overlooking the water, Lily happily working through a double scoop of mint chocolate chip, while Kate barely touched her vanilla cone. Mom, are you okay? Lily asked, noticing Kate's distraction. You're being weird. Kate smiled despite her nerves. Lily had always been perceptive. I'm fine, honey. Just thinking about something important. Is it about work? Are they cutting your hours again? No, nothing like that. Kate took a deep breath. Actually, I wanted to talk to you about your dad. Lily's spoon paused halfway to her mouth. Questions about her father had always been met with brief, carefully crafted answers. This was new territory. What about him? Lily asked cautiously. Kate turned to face her daughter. Remember how I told you he moved away to become a doctor before you were born? Lily nodded. And you said he didn't know about me because you lost touch. That's right. Kate's throat felt tight. Well, something unexpected happened. He's moved back to Mountain Ridge. He's working at the hospital now. Lily's eyes widened. My dad is here? In town? Yes. I ran into him at the grocery store last week. Does he know about me now? Lily's voice had gone small. He does. We talked, and I told him about you. Lily set down her ice cream. Her expression a complex mix of emotions Kate couldn't fully read. What did he say? Was he mad you didn't tell him before? He was surprised, Kate admitted. And yes, a little upset at first. But mostly, he was amazed to learn he has a daughter. He wants to meet you. Lily was quiet for a long moment, staring out at the lake. What's his name? She finally asked. Ryan. Ryan Wilson. Ryan. Lily repeated, testing the name. And he's really a doctor? Yes, at the hospital. He specializes in pediatrics. That means he works with kids. Lily seemed to be processing this information. What does he look like? Kate smiled gently. He's tall. He has green eyes, just like yours, and the same dimple in his left cheek when he smiles. Lily touched her cheek unconsciously. All these years, she had searched her reflection for traces of the father she'd never known. Now those pieces had a source. Do you want to meet him? Kate asked carefully. Lily picked at a loose thread on her jeans. I don't know. Maybe. It's weird. I've thought about him a lot, but now that he's actually here. She trailed off. What if he doesn't like me? The vulnerability in her question broke Kate's heart. Oh, Lily, that's not possible. He already cares about you. I could see it in his face when I showed him your picture. You showed him my picture? Lily seemed surprised. Yes, from the science fair. He said you're beautiful. Lily was quiet again, digesting this. Are you and him going to get back together? The question caught Kate off guard. No, honey, that's not what this is about. Ryan and I were together a long time ago, but our lives went in different directions. This is about you having a chance to know your father, if that's something you want. Do you want me to meet him? Kate considered the question carefully. I want whatever makes you happy and helps you feel whole. If meeting your father is part of that, then yes. But there's no rush, and there's no pressure. This is your decision. Lily nodded, looking down at her melting ice cream. I think I want to meet him, but not right away. Maybe we could email first or something. Kate felt a rush of relief and pride at her daughter's thoughtful approach. That sounds like a good idea. We can take this slowly, at your pace. Is he going to stay in Mountain Ridge? Or will he leave again? It was the question that had been haunting Kate as well. He said he signed a 3-year contract with the hospital, and he moved back to be closer to his mom, your grandmother, who's been sick. I have a grandmother. Lily looked up with renewed interest. Yes. Kate realized how much family history Lily had been missing. Ryan's mother is very kind. She would love you. They sat in silence for a while, watching a family of ducks paddle across the lake. Kate put her arm around Lily's shoulders, feeling both the familiar solidity of her daughter and the strange new reality they were entering together. Mom, Lily finally said, I'm not mad at you for not telling him about me before. Kate felt tears prick her eyes. Thank you, honey. I did what I thought was best at the time. I know. Lily leaned her head against Kate's shoulder. But I'm glad he knows now. Later that night, after Lily had gone to bed, Kate texted Ryan. I told Lily about you. She wants to meet you, but she'd like to start with emails or texts. She needs to take this slowly. His response came quickly. Thank you, Kate. I'll go at whatever pace makes her comfortable. Just let me know what to do next. Kate stared at his message, feeling a complex mix of emotions. For 13 years, she had been Lily's only parent, making every decision, bearing every responsibility. Now, she was opening the door to let someone else in. It was terrifying and, in a way she hadn't expected, slightly relieving. She typed another message. She asked if you're planning to stay in Mountain Ridge or leave again. 3 dots appeared as Ryan typed. Then, I'm not going anywhere. I promise. Kate wanted to believe him. For Lily's sake, she needed to believe him. She set down her phone and looked at the collection of photos on her living room wall. Lily as a newborn, as a toddler taking her first steps, starting kindergarten, winning her first swimming medal. So many moments Ryan had missed. So many moments where Kate had stood alone with the camera. She picked up her phone again and scrolled to the picture of Lily at the science fair, the one she had shown Ryan. She studied her daughter's smile, the proud set of her shoulders, the sparkle in her eyes. Then she texted the photo to Ryan with a simple message. This is from her science fair last month. She won first place. His response was immediate. She's amazing. Thank you for raising such an incredible person. I know I've missed so much, but I want to be there for whatever comes next. Kate set down her phone, feeling something shift inside her. Not forgiveness exactly, but perhaps the beginning of a new understanding. The past couldn't be changed, but the future was still unwritten. And maybe, just maybe, there was room in that future for all of them to heal. The first email from Ryan to Lily was carefully crafted and rewritten a dozen times before he finally sent it. Kate watched Lily read it on her tablet at the kitchen table, her expression unreadable. He wants to know what my favorite subjects in school are, Lily said, looking up. And what books I like to read. Those seem like good starting questions, Kate replied, trying to sound casual while she loaded the dishwasher. Lily nodded, her fingers hovering over the screen. What should I call him? Just Ryan? Or, she didn't finish the question. Whatever feels right to you, Kate said. You don't have to decide everything right away. Lily typed slowly, pausing often to think. Kate gave her space, busying herself with weekend chores while occasionally glancing at her daughter's concentrated face. When Lily finally set down the tablet, she seemed both relieved and nervous. I told him I like science and English, and that I'm reading that fantasy series Zoe recommended, she reported. I signed it just Lily. That sounds perfect, Kate assured her. Over the next 2 weeks, the emails between Ryan and Lily became more frequent. Lily shared details about her friends, her swim team, and the science project that had won first place. Ryan told her about growing up in Mountain Ridge, his work at the hospital, and the golden retriever named Max he had adopted from the shelter. Each exchange built a fragile bridge between them. Kate kept her distance from the process, reading the emails only when Lily wanted to share them. She was determined to let this relationship develop on its own terms, even as she wrestled with her own complicated feelings about Ryan's return. One evening, while Kate was making dinner, Lily appeared in the kitchen with her tablet. Mom, Ryan, my dad, wants to know if we could meet this weekend. At the park, maybe? Kate paused, knife suspended over the cutting board. How do you feel about that? Lily shrugged, trying to appear casual though her nervous energy was palpable. I think I'm ready. It's weird just writing to someone who's supposedly half of why I exist, you know. Kate smiled at her daughter's blunt assessment. I know. If you're ready, then yes, we can arrange something. He suggested the park by the library on Saturday. He said you'd know the place. Kate did know it. It was where she and Ryan had often met between classes in college, sitting on the bench by the duck pond. She wondered if he had chosen it deliberately. That works, Kate said, returning to chopping vegetables. I'll be there with you, of course. Lily nodded, then asked the question Kate had been dreading. What was he like back then, when you were together? Kate set down her knife, choosing her words carefully. He was smart, determined. He always knew he wanted to be a doctor, even then. He made me laugh a lot. She paused, memories rising unexpectedly. He was kind, too. The type who would help strangers without making a big deal about it. Did you love him? Lily asked quietly. The directness of the question caught Kate off guard. Yes, she admitted. I did. Then why didn't you try to make it work when you found out about me? Kate leaned against the counter, facing her daughter fully. It's complicated, Lily. We were very young. He had just moved across the country for medical school. I was still figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. And I was hurt that he had chosen to leave. But if you had told him about me, maybe things would have been different, Kate acknowledged. Or maybe they would have been worse. We might have tried to stay together for the wrong reasons. I made the best decision I could at the time. Lily seemed to accept this, though Kate could see her mind working. Do you think he'll like me? In person, I mean. Kate crossed the kitchen and hugged her daughter tightly. He already likes you. And when he meets you, he's going to love you just like everyone else does. Saturday arrived with clear skies and mild temperatures. Kate spent extra time helping Lily pick out an outfit, settling on jeans and her favorite blue sweater, and fixing her hair, though Lily insisted she wasn't trying to impress anyone. They both knew it wasn't true. As they walked to the park, Lily grew quieter with each step. Kate squeezed her hand. It's okay to be nervous. He is too, I'm sure. How do you know? Because meeting someone important is always a little scary, even for grown-ups. They spotted Ryan as soon as they entered the park. He was sitting on a bench near the duck pond, exactly where Kate had expected. He stood when he saw them, his posture stiff with apparent nerves. That's him, Lily whispered, slowing her pace. That's him, Kate confirmed. Lily studied Ryan from a distance. He really does have my eyes. They approached slowly. Ryan had dressed casually in jeans and a sweater, but Kate could tell he'd put thought into his appearance. He looked between them, his gaze lingering on Lily with barely concealed wonder. Hi, he said simply. Hi, Lily replied, suddenly shy. Kate nodded her greeting, then gently guided Lily forward. Ryan, this is Lily. Lily, this is Ryan. It's really good to meet you, Ryan said, his voice slightly unsteady. Thanks for agreeing to this. Lily nodded, shifting her weight from one foot to the other. Your dog isn't with you? Ryan smiled, visibly relaxing at the mention of Max. Not today. I thought it might be easier without him bouncing around. But he'd love to meet you sometime. I like dogs, Lily offered. Mom won't let me have one because our apartment is too small. They do need space, Ryan agreed, glancing at Kate with a small smile that acknowledged their daughter's attempt to play them against each other. The initial awkwardness slowly eased as they walked around the pond, feeding the ducks with a bag of breadcrumbs Ryan had brought. Lily gradually moved from one-word answers to fuller sentences, telling Ryan about her upcoming swim meet and asking questions about his work at the hospital. Kate hung back slightly, giving them space while remaining close enough for Lily's comfort. She watched as Ryan listened intently to Lily's stories, noticing how he never interrupted and how his face lit up when Lily laughed at one of his jokes. Despite everything, he seemed to be genuinely trying to connect with their daughter. When Lily ran ahead to look at a family of turtles sunning themselves on a rock, Ryan turned to Kate. She's incredible, he said quietly. You've done an amazing job with her. She makes it easy, Kate replied. She always has. I wish, Ryan started, then stopped himself. I know, Kate said, understanding the unspoken regret. But we're here now. As they watched Lily kneel by the pond, carefully observing the turtles with the same focused expression Ryan got when he was concentrating, Kate felt something shift inside her. The past couldn't be changed, but perhaps the future could be better than she had allowed herself to imagine. The meeting lasted just over an hour, long enough for the initial ice to break, but short enough to avoid overwhelming Lily. As they prepared to leave, Ryan hesitated. Would it be okay if we did this again sometime? Lily looked to Kate, then back to Ryan. Yeah, she said with cautious optimism. That would be okay. Walking home, Lily was quiet, processing the experience. Finally, she spoke. He seems nice. Not like I imagined, but nice. What had you imagined? Kate asked. Lily shrugged. I don't know. Someone who didn't want me, I guess. The simple honesty of her statement made Kate's heart ache. Lily, he didn't know about you. That's very different from not wanting you. I know that now. Lily kicked a stone along the sidewalk. Do you think he'll stick around? Even after his mom gets better? It was the question Kate had been asking herself since Ryan's return. I hope so, she said honestly. But even if things change, what matters is right now. And right now, he wants to know you. Yeah, Lily said, a small smile forming. I think I want to know him too. The weeks following that first meeting brought gradual changes to Kate and Lily's routine. Ryan began appearing in small, measured doses, attending Lily's swim meet, joining them for ice cream after school on Wednesdays, dropping by with books he thought Lily might enjoy. Each visit ended with tentative plans for the next one, building a pattern of reliability that Kate cautiously appreciated. One evening in late October, Ryan called Kate after Lily had gone to bed. I've been thinking about something, he said without preamble. My mother keeps asking when she can meet Lily. Kate had been expecting this. Margaret Wilson had always been an important figure in Ryan's life. How is she doing with her treatments? Better. The doctors are optimistic. Ryan paused. She feels like she's missing precious time with her only grandchild. Kate understood the weight of those words. She had robbed not only Ryan, but also his mother of years with Lily. Do you think Lily is ready for that? I think so. They've been texting a little. Mom's been sending her pictures of me as a kid. Apparently, it's hilarious to both of them how much we look alike. Kate smiled despite herself. Lily didn't mention that. She's starting to keep some things between us private, Ryan said gently. I think that's good, right? Normal. It was normal, but it still felt strange to Kate. For years, she had been Lily's entire world. Now that world was expanding. You're right. When were you thinking? Mom suggested Sunday lunch at her house. Nothing fancy, just the four of us. Kate took a deep breath. I'll talk to Lily about it tomorrow. Lily was surprisingly enthusiastic about meeting her grandmother. She sent me a picture of Dad dressed up for Halloween when he was my age, she told Kate, laughing. He was a toilet paper mummy, and all his bandages were falling off. Kate noted the casual dad that had begun to slip into Lily's vocabulary. It had appeared gradually over the past few weeks, tentative at first, then more comfortable. Kate was still adjusting to it. Sunday arrived with Lily fretting over what to wear and what to call Ryan's mother. Is she Grandma? Or Mrs. Wilson? Or Margaret? Why don't you ask her what she prefers when you meet her? Kate suggested, helping Lily with her hair. They drove separately to Margaret's house, a small bungalow on the outskirts of town with a meticulously maintained garden. Ryan was waiting on the porch when they arrived, looking both excited and nervous. Mom's been baking since 6 this morning, he told them in a low voice as he walked them to the door. I think she made every dessert you've ever mentioned liking Lily. Lily grinned, her earlier nervousness fading. I did tell her I like chocolate cake, and apple pie, and those cookie things with the jam in the middle. Thumbprint cookies, Kate supplied, feeling a strange mix of emotions as they stepped into the Wilson family home. She had spent countless hours here during college, studying with Ryan at the kitchen table, watching movies on the old sofa, helping Margaret plant her spring bulbs. The house smelled the same, like cinnamon and old books. Margaret Wilson appeared in the hallway, thinner than Kate remembered, but with the same warm smile. Her hair had gone completely silver, and she wore a colorful scarf tied elegantly around her head, evidence of the chemotherapy she had undergone. There you are, she said, her gaze immediately finding Lily. Oh my goodness, look at you. Lily stood uncertainly until Margaret opened her arms. Come give your grandmother a hug, if that's all right with you. Lily stepped forward into the embrace. Something about the naturalness of the moment made Kate's throat tighten. This was what she had feared for so long. Lily forming attachments that could potentially hurt her. But watching her daughter with the grandmother she had never known, Kate wondered if the greater hurt had been in keeping them apart. Kate, Margaret said, turning to her with a more complicated expression. It's been a long time. It has, Kate agreed, accepting the brief hug Margaret offered. You look well. Cancer's not as stylish as I'd hoped, Margaret joked, touching her scarf. But the doctors say I'm responding to treatment, so I can't complain. Lunch was less awkward than Kate had feared. Margaret had prepared all of Lily's favorite foods, having extracted this information from Ryan, and kept the conversation flowing with questions about Lily's school and activities. She pulled out photo albums after the meal, showing Lily pictures of Ryan as a child and teenager. He always had his nose in a book, Margaret told Lily. Just like you, from what I hear. Mom used to read to me every night when I was little, Lily said. She still does sometimes, when I'm sick. Margaret glanced at Kate with a complicated expression, something like respect mingled with lingering hurt. Your mother has done a wonderful job raising you, she said to Lily. I want you to know that I understand that. Kate felt a rush of unexpected gratitude. She had worried that Margaret might try to undermine her relationship with Lily, but instead, she seemed to be acknowledging Kate's role. While Lily continued looking through photo albums with Margaret, Ryan motioned Kate to join him on the back porch. The autumn air was crisp, and Kate wrapped her cardigan tighter around herself as they sat on the porch swing. Thank you for today, Ryan said quietly. I know this can't be easy for you. Kate watched a cluster of fallen leaves skitter across the yard. It's strange, she admitted. Seeing her with your mom. With you? It's like watching pieces of a puzzle come together. Pieces I didn't even know were missing. Ryan nodded. I've been thinking about what happens next. With us. The three of us, I mean. What do you want to happen? Kate asked, genuinely curious. I want to be a real father to her, Ryan said. Not just someone who takes her for ice cream once a week. I want to be there for homework and bad days, and when she's sick. I want to help make decisions about her future. The directness of his answer surprised Kate. That's a lot of change to adjust to. I know, and I'm not saying it has to happen overnight. But I've missed 13 years, Kate. I don't want to miss any more than I have to. Kate understood his urgency, but she also knew that rushing could damage the fragile trust they were building. We need to think about what's best for Lily, not just what we want. I agree. That's why I'd like to talk about making things more official. Ryan turned to face her directly. I'd like to establish legal paternity and discuss a formal custody arrangement. Kate felt a flicker of panic. You're talking about lawyers? Not adversarial lawyers, Ryan clarified quickly. Just making things clear and structured. For all our sakes. Kate was quiet for a long moment. Part of her wanted to resist, to keep the informal arrangement that preserved her authority as Lily's primary parent. But another part recognized that Ryan wasn't going away, and that clarity might actually be better in the long run. I need to think about it, she finally said. Ryan nodded. That's fair. Just know that I'm not trying to take her away from you, Kate. I just want to be recognized as her father in all the ways that matter. Through the window, they could see Lily laughing at something Margaret had said, her head thrown back in genuine amusement. The sight tugged at Kate's heart, the easy bond forming between grandmother and granddaughter. 13 years delayed, but blossoming nonetheless. She looks happy, Kate observed. She does, Ryan agreed. That's what matters most, right? Kate nodded, realizing that despite her lingering fears and complicated feelings toward Ryan, they were united in this one essential truth. Lily's happiness came first. Everything else, the hurt of the past, the uncertainty of the future, was secondary to that. As they drove home that evening, Lily clutched a small box of family photos Margaret had given her. Grandma says I look just like Dad's sister when she was my age, she reported, the word grandma already comfortable on her lips. And she's going to teach me how to make her special chocolate cake next time. You had a good time, Kate observed. Yeah, she's nice. Different than I expected. Lily looked out the window thoughtfully. She said she was sad she missed so much, but that she's looking forward to all the things she won't miss now. The simple wisdom in Margaret's approach struck Kate. Perhaps that was the healthiest way to view this situation, not dwelling on the past, but focusing on the present and future. Not lamenting what was lost, but celebrating what had been found. That sounds like good advice for all of us, Kate said quietly, reaching over to squeeze her daughter's hand. November brought the first real challenges to their newly forming family dynamic. What had started as a cautious reconnection was evolving into something more complex as Ryan became increasingly present in Lily's life. The novelty was wearing off, replaced by the everyday reality of navigating co-parenting after years of Kate making every decision alone. The first serious disagreement came over Thanksgiving plans. Kate and Lily had always spent the holiday with Kate's sister in Springfield, a tradition stretching back to Lily's infancy. When Ryan mentioned that his mother wanted to host them all for the holiday, Kate found herself unexpectedly defensive. "We already have plans," she told him during their weekly coffee meeting, a neutral time they had established to discuss Lily-related matters. "Jenny is expecting us. Lily loves spending time with her cousins." Ryan nodded, stirring his coffee. "I understand. But this would be our first holiday together as..." He hesitated over the terminology. "As a family." The word hung between them, loaded with implications. "We're not a family in the traditional sense," Kate pointed out carefully. "I know that. But Lily is my family. And Mom doesn't have much family left." The unspoken reality of Margaret's illness added weight to his request. Kate felt torn. She understood his desire to create holiday memories with Lily, especially given Margaret's health concerns. But she also valued the traditions she had carefully built over the years. "What about splitting the day? We could have lunch with your mother and dinner with my sister." "Springfield is 2 hours away," Ryan reminded her. "That's a lot of driving for one day." "Then what do you suggest?" Kate asked, frustration edging into her voice. "What if we alternate? This year with Mom, next year with your sister?" Kate bristled at the presumption. "You can't just step in and rearrange our traditions, Ryan. We've been doing this for 13 years. And I've missed 13 years of holidays with my daughter," Ryan countered, his own frustration evident. "I'm trying to find a compromise." They left the coffee shop without resolution, both retreating to their respective corners. That evening, Kate found Lily at the kitchen table, textbooks spread around her as she worked on a science project. "Hey, Mom," Lily said without looking up. "Dad texted. He said to ask you about Thanksgiving." The casual way Lily mentioned Dad and the implied alliance between them sent an irrational spike of jealousy through Kate. "What about it?" "He said his mom wants us to come there. Can we?" Kate sat down across from Lily. "We always go to Aunt Jenny's, remember? Your cousins are counting on seeing you." Lily set down her pencil. "I know, but Grandma Margaret isn't feeling great, and Dad says..." "I understand," Kate interrupted, more sharply than she intended. "But we can't just drop plans we've had for months because Ryan decided he wants something different." Lily's expression hardened in a way that reminded Kate uncomfortably of herself. "Why are you being like this? It's just Thanksgiving." "It's not just about Thanksgiving," Kate said, trying to modulate her tone. "It's about respect for the plans and traditions we already have." "But things are different now," Lily argued. "We have Dad and Grandma too." The simple truth of that statement hit Kate with unexpected force. Things were different, fundamentally so. The neat, contained world she had built for herself and Lily had expanded, bringing both richness and complication. She was no longer the sole decision-maker, the only significant adult in Lily's life. "Let me think about it," Kate finally said, unwilling to continue the argument. Later that night, she called her sister. "Something's come up with Thanksgiving," she began. Jenny, always perceptive, heard the tension in her voice. "This is about Ryan, isn't it?" Kate sighed. "His mother wants us there for the holiday. She's still recovering from cancer treatment, and it would be their first Thanksgiving with Lily. And you're feeling pushed out," Jenny guessed. "Is that terrible of me?" Kate asked. "I should be glad that Lily has more people who love her, right? But sometimes it feels like I'm losing her." "It's not terrible. It's normal," Jenny assured her. "You've been her everything for 13 years. Sharing her is bound to be hard. So what do I do?" "Maybe this year, we come to you," Jenny suggested. "We could have Thanksgiving on Friday instead. That way, Lily gets both families, and no one has to drive for hours on the actual day." The simple solution made Kate feel foolish for not thinking of it herself. "Are you sure? That's a big change to your plans. The kids won't care when we eat turkey as long as they get to see their cousin. And honestly, Kate, this is important. You need to find ways to make this work, for Lily's sake." After hanging up, Kate texted Ryan. "What about this? Thanksgiving Day with your mother and Friday with my sister's family. She's offered to come here instead." His response came quickly. "That sounds perfect. Thank you, Kate." The compromise resolved the immediate issue, but it highlighted the larger adjustments still ahead. As Ryan became more established in Lily's life, questions about school decisions, medical choices, and daily routines that Kate had always handled alone now involved another perspective. In early December, They met with a family mediator, a neutral third party to help them establish a formal co-parenting plan. Kate had initially resisted the idea, seeing it as an unnecessary legalization of what could be a natural relationship. But as their disagreements continued, she recognized the value in having clear guidelines. The mediator's office was warm and deliberately non-threatening, with comfortable chairs and soothing colors. Kate and Ryan sat across from each other while the mediator, a woman named Carol with kind eyes and a practical demeanor, guided their conversation. "What we're doing today is creating a roadmap," Carol explained. "Not just for your own interactions, but to provide stability and predictability for Lily." They worked through the practical issues first: Ryan's regular visitation schedule, how holidays would be divided, how decisions about education and healthcare would be made. Kate found herself holding tightly to certain areas, school choices in particular, while being more flexible on others. "Remember," Carol reminded them periodically, "this isn't about winning or losing. It's about creating the best possible environment for your daughter." The session was emotionally exhausting but productive. By the end, they had the framework of an agreement that acknowledged Kate's role as the primary residential parent while establishing Ryan's legal rights and responsibilities. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. As they left the mediator's office, Ryan paused in the parking lot. "Thank you for doing this," he said quietly. "I know it would be easier for you if I had never come back." Kate considered his words. "Easier in some ways," she acknowledged, "but not better, necessarily. Lily deserves to know you." "I'm trying to respect the life you've built," Ryan said. "I don't want to be disruptive, but I also can't be just a visitor in her life." "I know," Kate said. "I'm trying to adjust." "It's just a lot," Ryan finished for her. "For all of us." They stood in the cold December air, breath forming clouds between them. Kate thought about how far they had come in just a few months, from strangers to tentative co-parents. It hadn't been smooth, and it probably never would be completely easy. But they were finding their way. "Are you still coming to her holiday concert next week?" Kate asked, changing the subject. "Wouldn't miss it," Ryan replied with a smile. "Mom's coming too, if that's okay. She's been practicing her Christmas carols with Lily." Kate nodded, another small adjustment in her mental picture of their lives. "Lily will be happy to have you both there." That night, Kate found Lily in her room, carefully wrapping a small package. "What's that?" she asked, sitting on the edge of the bed. "A Christmas present for Dad," Lily said, struggling with the tape. "Grandma helped me pick it out. It's a stethoscope charm for his keychain. Because he's a doctor, you know." "That's thoughtful," Kate said, helping her with a particularly tricky corner. "He'll love it." Lily was quiet for a moment, concentrating on the bow. "Mom, are you and Dad getting along okay? You both seem kind of weird sometimes." Kate considered how to answer honestly without burdening Lily with adult complexities. "We're figuring things out," she said finally. "It's a big change for everyone, having your dad in our lives now. But we're both trying our best." "Because of me?" Lily asked, looking up with sudden concern. "For you," Kate corrected gently. "There's a difference." Lily seemed to accept this. "I like having him around," she admitted. "But I don't want you to be sad." Kate pulled her daughter into a hug, breathing in the familiar scent of her shampoo. "I'm not sad, sweetheart. Things are different, and different can be hard sometimes. But different can also be good." As Lily returned to her wrapping, Kate thought about the journey they had been on these past few months. There had been moments of tension, jealousy, and resentment, natural responses to such a significant change. But there had also been unexpected moments of grace. Margaret teaching Lily to bake her famous chocolate cake, Ryan sitting patiently through Lily's detailed explanation of her science project, the three of them laughing together at Lily's swim meet when the family in the next row accidentally spilled hot chocolate everywhere. It wasn't the life Kate had planned. It wasn't even the life she had carefully constructed over 13 years of single parenthood. But as she watched her daughter humming while she wrapped her father's Christmas gift, Kate realized that sometimes the life you don't plan can bring its own kind of fullness.